Na, üdvözlök mindenkit, sziasztok! Én újra SpringDabYT vagyok, és most Szellemes-Videók-nézése, második rész. Ugye, amit láthatjátok, 19 óra 31 van, szóval most már egy kicsit ilyen sötétebb szituációban vagyok.
Back of the woods, that is rumored to be where a clan of worshippers do all kinds of rituals. They wander around in the woods for a while, until a rickety white house rises from the darkness. Inside, warnings are spray painted all across the walls in big dark letters, but they do not heed them and press on.
Minden
Tim, John,
sátán.
and Ben take turns breaking stuff and jumping out at each other. But suddenly the three become very serious and quiet when they find a dungeon-like basement that leads straight down. The dark area smells extremely foul, and they cover their nose and mouths with their shirt.
Amúgy ugye kérdezitek, azért húztam lejjebb a videónak hangját, hogy halljatok mi is, mert az első videóban nem igazán hallottatok. Vagy szokásosan úgy magyaráztam bele, hogy közben pedig ordított a videó. Szóval ezért húzom egy kicsit lejjebb, hogy engemet is halljatok, miközben magyarázok.
To lessen the stench, the only thing down there besides them are two dolls hanging by their necks.
Kettő babafult felakasztva, igen. Jó van, na azt nézed már! Tudom, hogy te nem
Or
bírod.
at least that's what they think. Owl.
Okay, you gotta go.
If this noise is real, then it almost has to be the end result of a terrible ritual.
Chills ugye az a csatorna, vagy az a csatorna, ami tényleg az a legporábbat és a leghihetőbb videókat akarja csinálni. Én nem tudom, én ezt az egy videót még ezek kívül én így elhiszem, de Chillsről tudni kell, hogy nagyon jó kis videókat csinál.
That none of us are bring to the Shark Tank with some of her friends. She is full of adrenaline and can't help but nervously grip the cage bars out of stress. Soon a giant shark comes prowling along the cage and wants a closer look at the potential meal inside. The tour guides try to keep the shark distracted with a piece of bait on a pole, but it lunges at the last second and chomps where Emily's hands just were. All the other girls can do is watch as the shark almost makes a meal out of their friends' hands. I'm surprised there is not a second outer cage to keep this from happening.
Amit látjátok, fél
And we got
80.
away lucky, but maybe it's just a matter of time before someone pulls back a stump. Number 11. A lone stranger staggers out of the trees while a man is filming the train tracks. The person seems off
Jó baj,
balance
azt, hogy
and
nem
out of sorts
magyarázol.
as they slowly walk forward, barely managing to avoid an oncoming train. Seems like the worst is over. Another train fast approaches and lays on the horn, but he doesn't even hear it. Only when he sees the cameraman pointing at him to get over does he take a step. Otherwise, he would have kept walking straight in front of it.
Azt akarom, itt van 13 videó, ami... Nem tudom, mit jelent
He
ez.
owes his cameraman his life, but judging from his lack of a reaction, he hardly seems to even care. Number 10. Shortly after moving into their
Hú,
new
de utálom az
apartments,
ilyeneket.
this couple began to feel watched, so they installed a camera in the bedroom. A few nights
Ne
later,
nézzed, mert
the
azután meg
couple
te leszel a
noticed
hibás,
out of
érted?
their window. At first, he is so focused on staring into their bedroom that he doesn't even seem to notice or care about how obvious he stands out against the well-lit parking
Ezek az ilyen
lot.
CCTV kamerák a
Couple inside walks
legrosszabbak.
closer to the window and gets on the bed. He tries
Jó,
to
hogy
be a
ez egy
little
ember
cautious,
volt, az
but feels
igen.
miserably.
De ez már
It's
köbbe be
obvious
akart
that he is
ölni.
still there and eagerly looking straight at them. He is about as close to the
Halljátok,
window as he
srácok,
can
ez
be,
nagyon
and he is probably
félelmetes.
really getting into the idea of watching them without being
Jó
seen
van, Rafi,
himself.
köbben én nézem ezt a videót, és én nézem fél 8-kor ezt a videót. Nem éjfélkor, de azért így is nagyon durva.
The boyfriend goes out and confronts the man.
Nagyon.
He quickly stands up and shows no aggression as he walks away. It turns out to actually be their neighbor next door.
Hála
He came
Istennek
over and
meglátta a
apologized the
nájborra.
next day. but something tells me that this is a compulsion that he cannot help, and soon enough he will be back at it again, if not with them, then with someone else.
Ó, ezt már láttam.
Ezt.
Dashcam
Igen.
footage from Arizona. The officer is clearly on highway patrol at night, and after a short while, he takes a turn down a dirt road.
Látni
This is where
akarom
he
csak
spots a
magamat, hogy
woman
belátjad,
standing
hogy...
alone in the road with some small embers near her feet. Though it originally appears she is standing with her back turned to the police officer. Soon after, she lifts up her arms, and there appears to be two glowing eyes facing the officer. The footage ends shortly
Hát
after
valaki
with
ott
no
al,
further
vagy valakinek a
explanation.
lába.
I searched but couldn't find any footage of the incident after this part, so we made number 6. Zayneo barely manages to turn his
ez
live
is,
stream
ez is
on and say
CCTV.
hello before
Mi az CCTV?
somehow goes from being tightly shut to wide open in less than 10 seconds without a sound. If I'm not mistaken.
Raffi, amúgy ez... Neked is elmondtam, előbb mondtad nekem, hogy szerinted ezek photoshopok. Hogy valaki kinyissa az ablakot, azt szerinted, hogy lehet megphotoshopolni?
This type of window
Hát
doesn't even
Cérna
open
meg
from the
madzak
outside,
segítségével
meaning that
kilőtt, az
somebody
igaz.
had to be standing in the room to even push it open.
Mutasd.
Zayneo quickly searches his house.
Nézd
in
már,
less
ott
than a
megy,
minute
ott
and
megy,
finds
ott
no one
megy
else's
itt
home.
alul.
But when he crosses into the living
Nem
room,
érdekel.
the batteries in his smoke alarm go
Nem
off
nagyon
for
jó.
no reason at all. I know this part is real because this is the first time you hear the smoke alarm beep in the entire video.
Az Magic?
Ooh, okay.
Istenem.
Malfunction?
The smoke alarm going off,
Ha.
she wants to remember for the rest of her
Sigma.
life, which actually might be shorter than she thinks. It may seem like nothing bad could ever happen to them on such a perfectly sunny day, but to their immediate right is a sharp drop straight off a cliff. They hit a point where the curved road grows very narrow, just as the sun beats down on their car at the worst possible angle, turning the entire windshield into nothing but a blinding white glare. Grandpa does his best to stay on the road, but the sun is so intense that not even his oversized sunglasses can get the glare out of his eyes. They find some brief cover under the trees, and they can see that the road is too narrow to safely turn around. You can tell he doesn't want to keep going, but it's too late now and there is no other choice. He has to go back into the blinding sunlight and instead a better car and right and off. This is a brief glimpse of the side of the cliff. You can see he was still turning right and had to
Valaki át,
leisurely
nem?
correct the steering wheel to avoid tumbling below. Eventually,
Az,
Caitlin
hogy
gets
nem
out of the
láttam
car
semmit
and guides
belőle,
her
hogy ez
grandfather
ki
to
lenne, vagy mi
safety.
lenne.
You can still see that the sun is still totally in his eyes, and it's a small miracle they made it out of there alive. Number 4. Two friends are fishing when they hear somebody else firing for hunt not too far away. The two don't think much of it and let the man continue his hobby while they continue theirs. They keep casting into the water and everything is going fine for about a minute, and then the two sports collide.
Holy! Stop! Hey! Hey! It hit my
Most megy a
boat!
Look
fölvétel.
again and you can tell that he doesn't pick his foot up for dramatic effect. It was really that close. When you slow down the video to frame by frame, you can
Igen,
briefly see the
bihoztuk.
round as it
Mely
bounces
már.
off the deck right by his foot. If they had been drifting downriver, even just a little faster, it would have
Valamit
been a
odadobtak,
direct
hogy
hit and
valami
a
tudod,
trip to
valami
the
lehet
hospital
puskalövedék
for
volt, nem tudom.
certain. Number
Még az
3.
volt a...
This 8-second video shows somebody hanging on outside of the subway in Chicago. Two things about pack, which would make this stunt even harder somehow. 2. You can see him give a thumbs up at the 3-second mark. He seems quite comfortable with riding outside. I wonder how many times he has done this before. Though obviously it's never a good idea to attempt this.
Az igen, szóval a csávó fent lógott, ahogy tudják, az ablakon. Az
They're
igen.
supposed to give them a 2-week notice. This contractor gets very angry at his job site and gives a 2-second notice instead in the form of total carnage. He shows little regard for the safety of a co-worker.
Senki se
who's trying
irányítja.
to talk some sense into him as he
Vagy mi?
repeatedly slams the heavy equipment into the same spot over to number
Ah, sure.
1. My name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying my narration.
Hát az
Number
első.
1. Kevin dive in prop.
Amúgy amit előbb láttál, az a szőrnek a feje, az a csávónak volt a profilképe, szóval attól nem kell megijedni.
Finds himself at the bottom of a dip.
Fölkapcsoljon.
De minek?
And his cell phone has lost its
Inkább
charge.
lekapcsolom.
He's still alive and okay. If you've ever wanted to solve a mystery for a reward, now
Szóval ő elveszett egy erdőben, ez most azért van így. Ha. Na jó van emberek, hogyha tetszett ez a videó, akkor nyomjatok le a
Like.
videóra egy lájkot és iratkozzatok fel. Ha szeretnétek még ilyen tartalmat, akkor írjátok be kommentben. Subscribe ne legyen.
Double Pixelnek subscribe.
Kus.